press record.
What up, it's Boise, and we are back with another video, but this time it's about how I almost got arrested by the cops. Don't even get me started. So get your drinks, get your snacks, get your food, and let's get started. To the people who are returning and who have seen a couple of my other videos, thank you so much. I really appreciate you. If you haven't and you're new, check out my other videos that I posted. Hope you enjoy them, and I hope you enjoy this one. So this was back during COVID. It was early COVID, when things were fresh, things were shut down. So during this period of time, I was just more obsessed with nature, so I was walking around, I was appreciating, like the scenery. At the time, I was at in this town where it kind of reminded me of Outer Banks. I'm not sure if you guys watch Outer Banks. It's like this, there's a bunch of boats, it's like scenery, like nature, so on and so forth. So I spent most of my time there during COVID, I think a year and a half-ish I was there. So during this period of time, I was just gallivanting in the Hanging Gardens of Babylon, trekking to new spots, crossing the bridge to Terabithia, seeing Narnia, the Garden of Eden, I was seeing it all. So at this point in time, I was at this boat place. So there was this water and they were docking their boats and such, but around me, it was very good. I almost fell into that water, actually. I was walking around and I almost slipped in with the lily pads and I almost ended up in Atlantis. But that's a whole other thing. But I was about to leave because I was kind of you know what, I'm done for the day, let me just go back. I hear screaming behind me and I'm like, what is happening? So I turn around. This guy is running from these people and he's like, I can't believe you guys are doing this. His pants were halfway down for some reason, and he was just like, why are you guys doing this? Tell me how 5 guys come not 5 guys like the restaurant, 5 guys come running out of this house. Get out of here. This looked like GTA. I was like, what is happening? These guys are running. This one guy had a chair as if this was Montgomery Brawl. This one guy had a baseball bat. This other guy, knife. I was like, this is not real. This is not a real place. And they're running after this guy. They're like, get out of here. Blah, blah, blah. And the guy's like, why are you doing this to me? Yada, yada, yada. And I was genuinely flabbergasted. I was like, what is even happening in this town? Anyway, so I was gonna go and continue to go back to where I was coming from, right? So then where he was running from, it was coming here and it was gonna connect. So it was a very narrow street. So I started walking and he's running for his life and he escapes them, right? So they all run back, whatever. And then he picks up the phone, pulling up his pants, and he's like, you wouldn't believe what happened to me. They chased me out of the house. I was like, what is going on? And the girl's like, it's okay. And then he's just like, I don't know why they did it to me. I was like, yo, I can't can't I just walk in peace? I just didn't understand. Moments later, this guy's pukes blood. Pure blood. I was like, no, this isn't The Last of Us. The last thing I'm catching is some disease. So I'm like, let me just tiptoe in my Jordans past this guy because I'm not going to be catching whatever he just spewed it out. So I was like, yeah, let me just zip what the mind my business. Mind my business. So I decided to continue walking, and then I saw this police cruiser as I was walking by, and I was like, what are the odds that this guy is going to pull me over? And I was like, let me be optimistic. Let me be hopeful. So I continue walking, and then I just hear tire tracks. You know how when the tires are driving on the road, you the dry road, you can hear them come behind you. So I'm like, oh, here we go. Tell me how I turn around. There is not 1, 2 police cruisers, and these mans pulled out as if this was the Matrix. Man opens the door and they're like, close the door, and they're like, sir, can we talk to you for a minute? I was like, oh, Lord. I was like, no, not talk to me. I know that's wrong. I was debating on if I should just walk away because I'm like, I'm not the 1 or the 2. Let's just try the Lord, don't try me. But you know what? I was like, let me entertain what these people have to say. So they're like, oh, sir, so we got a couple complaints that were 2 unidentified black males on the scene of the crime. I was like, two black males. They were like, yeah, it just happened down there. There was a guy puking. I was like, oh, the one who puked blood. They were like, so you know the situation. I was like, no, relax. It's not that deep. I was like, I just so happened to be near the area, which sounds pretty suspicious. But I so happened to be near the area and I witnessed what happened. So, guys were chasing this guy out of the house, blah, blah, blah. But I didn't see any other black males in the damn vicinity. And they were like, oh, we got calls that there were black males there and you fit the description. I was like, of course I fit the description. What's new? Like, you know what I mean? And then they're like, oh, can we get your full legal name? I was like, I gave the alias, but I was like the first part was real, the last part, and then he went and go checked it out in the database, and he was like, oh, we don't see you on the file. And I was like, obviously, because I didn't do anything wrong. And then he was like, okay, we're gonna need a little more information from you. Where do you live? Da 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 da. And as this guy was asking me all these 21 damn questions, I saw this one, little innocent family walking up. So they're coming, and it was like this lady, it was a dog, it was a child, and like I don't think like the husband was there. He might have been there. Anyway, so they're pulling up to the scene, and I was like talking to this these two officers, and then they make it closer to like where they're able to hear what's going on. And this is the funniest part. The lady was like, "Come on, Jimmy," with the dog and the child, and they shimmy over the street. I was rolling, and the way they're looking at me, they're like. I was like, chill, like it's not that deep. But the way that they were looking was so funny. Come on, Jimmy. I was rolling. Anyways, so a little side quest that happened there. But then the cop was like, oh, so where do you live? And I gave like an address. And then he was like, okay, well, we had to check out because you fit the description and la 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 la. And I was like, yeah. So he was just like, yeah, hope you don't mind that we had to do this. And I was just like, you know what? It's y'all's job. I get it. But I'm like, nothing surprised me anymore, because I'm just like the city that I was in, you know what I mean? And I was just like, so I was kind of just like, it is what it is. Y'all did your job. Y'all did your due diligence. Let me bounce. You know what I mean? So they get up in their cruisers and they flee the scene. And I was kind of like, you know what? I had no words. I almost up and got arrested today because the way that they're asking me these questions, the way that they're looking at me and ting, and I was kind of just like, yeah, no, I ain't trying to end up like Michael Scofield and be doing some prison break. Like, no way. So, that's what ended up happening. Yo, I almost up and got into a whole back of the damn cruiser and whatever have you. But I hope you guys enjoyed the story. Check out my channel if you haven't seen the rest of my clips, and I will see y'all in the next one. Peace.